Hello and welcome back to Patrick Finds All the Alphabet 10p coins and I find diddly squat. We've got another £200 to have a hunt through. Looking for some of the Alphabet 10p's that we haven't found already. So I'll move these off to the side and show you where we're at. That's the book that we are trying to fill. So we've got A, we've got E, we've got L, we've got J and P. And E was the last one that Patrick found for me. But he's back again today to help me with this one. So, what bag do you want?
This one.
Okay, take it. And let's get into these bags. So let's jump into the questions. So the first question comes from It's Murray, who asks, what tips would you have for someone just starting coin collecting? So again, I get this question an awful lot. All I would say is tell as many people as you can that you collect coins, your family, your friends. If you're in shops, you can change. Ask, just say if you've got any commemorative ones with pictures on it because you collect them. Again, if you can take coins out of the bank like I do, then that's an amazing way to keep searching. So you can take it out one bank, pay it into another. Obviously, don't pay straight back into the same bank because that'll annoy the staff and you might end up with getting the same coins over and over again. But a lot of people on the Discord, a lot of people in the comments take out as little as like £10 and still hunt them and still find things. So and also don't give up, just keep looking. The only way you'll never find a Kew Gardens is never to look. Trish Cooking asks, do you have any advice on the best coins to collect? Not really. It's a very subjective sort of thing. It's whatever your favourites. If you like, I don't know, date runs of 1p's, then sure, go for it. I mean, if it's a budgeting thing, the 10p's are good ones to go for because obviously it's not as much to keep 10p if you find one of the alphabet 10p's, but they are quite elusive to find. So yeah, the 50p's are a good start. £2 they can add up to quite a bit on a weekly basis if you're hunting weekly. So stick within your budget, keep hunting, don't give up. Exile Creepypasta asks, what coins do you prefer hunting? I actually really enjoy the 10p hunts. I haven't had much success, and it seems to be only Patrick that gets success in my videos, but they just look so amazing, and I think it's because they're so scarce. When I do find one, that feeling of finding it is so much more than it would be if it was like, I don't know, the 50p's. I would find loads of, I don't know, Benjamin Bunnies for instance. So yeah, I guess the 10p's, but the 50p's I do like finding the like Olympic 50p's or the rarer 50p's. Like £2 were always my favourite, but I seem to be finding less and less of the really good ones of them at the moment. Sarah Shepherd asks, what got you into coin collecting? Again, another question I get asked a lot. So I've always been a bit of a collector, collecting I don't know, things like I've collected loads of Star Wars stuff since I was a kid. I don't think I've ever thrown anything Star Wars away. Even like a broken wall clock from the Phantom Menace with I think Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan in it. It hasn't worked for years, but I can't bear to part with it. I inherited some stamps from my nan's late husband. She was just going to chuck them all away, and there was a whole bunch of worldwide coins as well. And instead of chucking them away, I said that I'd have them, and that got me sort of collecting stamps, and then it just progressed into coins, I guess. Chris Carroll asks, do you collect the Gibraltar coins? Yes, I do. If I find them, I put them aside and keep them. I don't find an awful lot on the mainland UK, but yeah, I do keep all the ones that I get separately. Samira Azim asks, if your house was on fire and you could only grab one coin, what would it be? I guess it's sensible to grab the most expensive one. So a Kew Gardens, maybe my second Kew Gardens, because that was just an amazing, if you haven't seen the video for that, go check that out, because the hunt for that coin was amazing. I got so many good finds, so it's sort of a very special coin to me. John Moat asks, what's the oldest collectible coin you've ever found? So my worldwide hunts, which I upload on Sundays, in the current bag I'm going through, we found some, I think it's 1823 was the earliest we got, which is just absolutely mind-bogglingly old. So just to think of all the hands that might have passed through before getting into my bag and then onto my videos, which is pretty awesome. I've got two questions from Diane123. The first is, apart from coins, what was the first thing you collected and how old were you? So I have very vivid memories as a child. Instead of getting pocket money, my dad would come back on a Friday after work with a Star Wars card-backed figurine. Being kids, my brother and I, we'd always both get one each. Being kids, we took them out, we played with them, we lost the weapons, but again, I've still got them somewhere in a bag somewhere. But that must have been, I don't know, early primary school. I don't know how old you are then. So yeah, that was the first thing I remember collecting, but there was more to play with them than anything else. But I've always been a bit of a hoarder. I don't like throwing things away. Second question is, did your parents collect things when you were young? So my mum and dad, when they were together, collected these little, is it porcelain? No, it's not porcelain. It's like, I don't know, little Bramley hedge mice. I don't know if any of you will know what they are. If you don't, just go Google them. It's a whole bunch of these little mice, and they're all in different poses. There's different mice, and there's different things, and all this sort of gubbins you can get, like, I don't know, sideboards. And I think it was because they had a Mr. and Mrs. Bramley hedge mice wedding cake toppers with a little wedding parasol above them, and then again, my dad's similar mind to me. Once you get one thing, you've got to get them all. So I think he's still got all of them as well. But he's always been a massive collector. He collects Corvette, toy Corvette cars. So we always had loads of cars when we were kids, because he'd always buy these little boxes, and there'd be one Corvette in it. We get my brother and I would get the rest. But he collects the coins as well. He collects the album sets, the ones not made for circulation, and also first day covers as well from time to time. But yeah, he's the collector. My mum's not though. Natamac asks, do you collect anything other than coins? Yep, so I collect stamps. That's what this channel was originally going to be, stamps, but no one wanted to watch it, so it went dormant for absolutely ages. And then in February, I think it was, I started uploading, was it April? I think it was April I started uploading coin videos. But I like, anything Star Wars is my cup of tea. I quite like Star Wars Pez dispensers, but I won't buy them on eBay. I won't go on eBay to buy them. I have to find them in shops for me to buy them, if that makes sense. It's I guess, yeah, I could go on eBay and I could buy 100 of them and then have them in my collection, but then that takes the fun out of finding them, if that makes sense. So like, I really want a Kylo Ren Pez dispenser. I just think it would look really awesome. And I haven't found one in the shop, but I could go on eBay. I could buy one now, but then when I find one in the shop, I think, I've already got that one, and it wouldn't be that amazing. Oh my god, I finally found it. But other than that, I've got some Gentle Giant Star Wars mini busts, and they're absolutely phenomenal. I think I've got all Imperials apart from Admiral Akbar. I think he was the first one I bought, but the rest are all sort of Imperial officers, and I think they're absolutely amazing, and I love them. Didar Rahman asks, why did you stop selling your excess coins? So for those of you that are new, I did used to, in the very early days of my channel, that was the whole plan, was to search through the coins, find ones worth more than face value, and then sell them on eBay. But after eBay took its fees, after postage, after packing, after all the time I would spend doing that, and then the odd time I would get people that said I didn't receive them when I know they did receive them, it really wasn't worth the effort and the time I was putting into it. But by that point, loads of you guys were subscribing and watching the videos. That was gaining traction, so I started keeping them rather than selling them. And that's the reason why I stopped selling my excess coins. Mikey V asks, what coin is it that's still eluding you? Do you want the most? I've found all of the £2 and all of the 50p's. I filled up the books once, not including 2018 ones though, because we haven't come across them yet. But I don't know. I think I'd like to have more Isaac Newton's. It's my favourite 50p. I got two in the. Have I got two in the books? No, I've got one in one book. I'm still looking for it in another, and I've got 3 spares or something. So I haven't got many of them. But I guess that's one I'd like to see more of. And Frankenstein, I would love if Frankenstein is an NIFC, I'll be gutted, because I would be so looking forward to finding that in my change. 2 questions from Can We Get 100k subscribers? The first question is, what was the first coin you kept for your collection? Ooh, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at my first video. It might even have been Sir Isaac Newton. I remember getting a load of them early on. But in terms of first coin I collected was probably a WWF 50p. I remember collecting a whole bunch of them and spending them on sweets as a kid. Your second question was, are Benjamin Bunnies trying to take over the world? I think they are. Well, they are the highest minted commemorative 50p in circulation at the moment. There's 25 million of them, which is absolutely crazy. So yeah, I think they are. They're at least trying to take over my channel. Next question from the Chrissy B. If you can make a new denomination of UK coin, what would it be? So I said before that 99p coin would make sense, the amount of things at 99p. But I'd like to see a £5 coin. I don't see why we can't have a £10 coin. Because as long as they've got good designs, neat designs, I'd be well up for that. Sam White asks, does your bank think you're crazy? I think most people think I'm crazy. No, not at all. I've explained what I do, why I want the coins, so it makes sense. It'd be more suspicious if I wasn't telling them. I was just paying in and out every week, which would ring some alarm bells. But no, I don't think they're crazy. They don't think I'm crazy. They think I'm eccentric, maybe a bit weird. But everyone's got their own eccentricities. We're all weird in our own little ways. Jim Woolard asks, what's your most valuable coin? It'll be Kew Gardens again, because they're what, is it 85 to 100 pounds, that sort of price band. But I've got two of them now, so yeah, that's my most expensive, my most valuable coin. John Bentley asks, is there advantage to having the right high street bank? So again, this gets asked an awful lot. Which bank should I use? What bank should I go to? It's very difficult to say because I've heard of one bank, so one branch of a bank in a town will let someone take out loads of coins, and then the same bank but a different branch in another town won't let them do it. So it's all dependent on your high street bank's facilities, I guess, their footfall, whether they have a lot of change, whether they can order in the change. And the only way to find out is to ask. And if your bank can't do it, my advice is go up and down the high street and pop into every bank and explain you want to take out regular coins because you're a coin collector. Is that something you can do? That if you open an account there, they'd be able to facilitate, and if they can, open an account there. Beanie3 asks, if they did specifically design pound notes and you could make a set, what would it be? Ooh, that's a good one. So I'd quite like a £1 note. Now that we can have polymer notes, they're much more durable. I don't see why we can't have a £1 note. Although the pushback on that is always, well, you can't get a lot for £1. What's the point in having a £1 note? But a nice set to have on the pound notes. Crumbs, I don't know. Maybe I keep talking about, like, on the coins, it'd be nice to have some Mr. Men coins. Maybe Mr. Men £1 notes would be quite cool, wouldn't they? But a whole set of them, yeah, I don't know. I can't think. Just as long as it's a varied set where there's lots of different ones to collect, I'd be well up for that. Les Clayton asks, do you ever get sick of people that only collect to sell on and make a profit? It doesn't faze me an awful lot, if I'm honest. I can hardly get on my pedestal, having just said that originally I started looking through coins, sifting through coins in order to sell them and make a profit. But I guess they fill a marketplace there, so people that can't get coins regularly to search through, people that want to collect but don't have the time maybe, and so if that helps them in their way of collecting, I don't see that too much of a problem. What does annoy me is when people get these coins and they put them up for eBay for really stupid prices, because not only if someone does believe that and buy it, then that's not good for them, and also it then gets into the newspapers, and the newspapers say, oh my god, Benjamin Bunny's worth £500. It's sort of like, I wish, because I would be retired by now, I'd be on a beach in the Bahamas by now. But that's what annoys me, because then as coin collectors, I'm sure many of you know, when your relatives then get that Benjamin Bunny, get that and the Battle of Britain 50p coin and show you and say this is worth hundreds of pounds, and you're the one that has to say it's not. I'm really sorry, but it's really not. And I get that a lot on the videos as well. And if I feel bad telling someone that, I know, I'm really sorry, you're not going to go on holiday with that Benjamin Bunny 50p, sorry. But moving on, Brian Morgan asks, how do I find face value of each coin? Well, face value is just the amount that the coin is. So the face value of 50p is 50p, face value of £1 is £1, face value of a £5 note is £5. I think how do you find the value of each coin? So what I do, I look on eBay, I filter by auctions only. I completely just ignore the buy it nows because they're stupid. So filter by auctions only. Then filter sold auctions, not just completed because it can complete and not sell, but finished auctions, sold auctions, and then I just filter by the most recent first, and I'll scroll through the first 50 or so and just take a sort of average of that. But it can vary quite a lot. So like suffragettes recently, when I had one of them, I had a look on eBay at that, and I saw one that sold for £5.50. I've seen others that sell for 90p, so I just put a pound or whatever, a pound to £5.50, whatever it happened to have been. Bazza Moore asks, what's your best coin and what would it go for? So 3 questions. We've got the same answer today. Kew Gardens, I think it's about £85 to £100 on a good day. Randy Johnson asks, are you thinking about foreign coins more now that you are doing these videos? Yeah, totally. I'm enjoying it a lot more with this bag as well because I'm getting much more of a variety of coins, whereas the previous bag we were getting a lot of sort of more modern withdrawn French centimes than we were getting now. But in this bag, especially the old ones, I really like finding the really old coins because they're just so awesome. But yeah, I guess I'm thinking more about foreign coins now. But I probably wouldn't do more than one video a week because out of all the videos I produce, that video does take the longest to edit and put together. Whereas a 50p hunt takes 25 minutes to record, maybe half an hour to edit, and then it's just rendering and uploading, which I can set it going and wander off. Whereas the foreign coin hunt, it's about 20 minutes to record and about 3 to 4 hours to edit. Getting all the annotations, going on Numista, finding the mint values, and then if I get a coin that's got Arabic writing, Chinese writing, Japanese writing on it, then it's figuring all that out, then having to discern what the actual year on it is, which is a real pain, but it's really interesting to find out at the end of it. And I do keep meaning to eventually go back onto Numista and log all the coins that I've got because I think that would be quite cool. Next question comes from Poppy Blossom. What would you say is the best thing about collecting coins? Best thing about collecting circulated coins is if you ever get to a position where you need the cash, you can always pay them back into the bank and spend them. So I'm not. So take for instance stamp collecting. I could buy a £100 a stamp worth for £100, and then if I run out of money, I can't, go buy my shopping with that stamp. Whereas if I ever run out of money, I've got oodles and oodles of 50p's and £2 coins or pound coins, things like that I can readily cash in. Maybe not. I wouldn't want to. I'd want to sell the ones that are more than face value. But worst comes to worst, I could cash it in and spend it. So I'm not losing any money by collecting coins. That's that's logically thinking that's the best thing about it. But I also quite like that there are new ones brought out every year. There's always something new to look for. But we're not overwhelmed. Like with stamps, there's an overwhelming amount of stamps that come out on a yearly basis. So that's why I like collecting coins, and also they look awesome. Oh my goodness, I'm never going to pronounce this right. Conload Doran asks, do I have to notify my bank in advance? You don't have to, but chances are, so for instance, if I was to walk into my bank and just expect them to have, I don't know, I take out £1,200 a week to sort of hunt through. If I was just rocking up and they didn't have them, then I would be in a bit of a predicament because I had no videos to make. So I would always, it's polite as well because they know you're coming in, they know you're coming to do that. I will also mention, go into more detail, when I say take out £1,200 a week, it is effectively the same money every week. I don't, it's not like I'm spending £1,200 a week on coins. I take it out of one bank, I keep the ones I want, maybe £5 worth of coins, £10 worth of coins, and the rest goes back into another bank, and then I transfer it back over to the original bank. So it's the same money, it's the same money recycled, it's just different coins, if that makes sense. I don't want a load of people in the comments going, oh, you spend this much money, you've got so much money. It's really not. Again, same question from the same person. What is the best way to clean your coins? Now, I've never cleaned a coin just because I've always been, it does devalue the coin, so I wouldn't do it. But if it's a coin, so again on the Discord there was someone that was making a craft table using foreign coins and was cleaning them because they weren't going to be in a collection, they weren't going to be sold on, they were just going to be cleaned up and then stuck onto to make a surface, which I think sounds like it's going to be awesome. but I think they were using oven hob cleaner or something. But I've heard white vinegar. Everyone's heard the putting copper coins in. Is it copper coins in Coca-Cola? But yeah, I mean, if you've got them in your collection, I wouldn't clean them if I was you. But it's entirely up to you. XPNCTOB. Oh, sorry. So that was a. So that was it was in Russian. I think it's Russian lettering. I might be wrong on that, and I apologise if I am wrong. But that's what the characters look like. It's sort of the English alphabet. And this will be the last question. Do you collect coins from around the world or ancient coins? So yeah, I collect coins from around the world. I've got quite a lot actually. I do have a little Excel spreadsheet with them all noted on there what I've got, and it's quite a few hundred of them now. But as I said, I upload them on a Sunday. But ancient coins, I don't have any ancient coins unless you call, I don't know, 1800 coins from the 1800s ancient, but I don't have any sort of Roman coins, hammered coins, those kind of things. But again, I'm not quite sure how I would get my hands on a steady flow with them either, so I don't know. I've always liked, someone suggested buying bags of, I don't know, dirty Roman coins and then cleaning the mud off of them and collecting them that way, but I don't know, maybe in the future. You never know. So with that, we'll get back to the coins. So another hunt that I get absolutely beaten on. So I found nothing, not a single one. But Patrick found 3 jersey 10p's. The first one's 2007. Second one is 92. And third one 2007. Then you got another jersey one actually. I missed that one. 92. 2 US coins. So 1/4 there. Liberty. And then my favourite from this hunt, a Kentucky State quarter. Keep doing that. American coins go that way. But that one's pretty stunning. And then this one we have seen before from the United Arab Emirates, which is pretty cool. So I have already started, but I'll finish off now having a look through all the lines for any of the NIFC dates. So unfortunately no NIFC in all those lines and no alphabet 10p today, so fingers crossed for the next week. Hopefully the questions that I answered of yours were interesting enough for you, but thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time for more coins. Bye.